let me make sure that I'm recording for you as well. So I've been getting a lot of people who have been emailing me who have been attending Plan the Week Live for a while. So if you are a regular Plan the Week Live attender, then welcome back. I really appreciate you. And so many of them have said how they have taken an action. They've taken a small action from something that they learned, or in some cases, big actions from things that they learned and have been able to see results. And so if that is true for you, if you've been on a Plan the Week Live in the past and you've gotten a result or you've taken action in a way that has improved your life, then feel free to go ahead and type into the chat box. I would love to hear about it. Or you can always send me an email afterwards to hello@dailysuccessroutine.com. It's been really exciting to see how this series has been making a difference for people. So I really welcome you sharing your testimonials. And if you are new to Plan the Week Live, this is your first time, then I'm sure that you're going to be able to get a result from your experience this evening. And I welcome you back to join more of our Plan the Week Live sessions. And the one thing that I want to say to you and that I want you to keep in mind is the key is not to do more, but to be more. So don't do more, be more. So think about, who do you need to be after this show ends tonight? Who do you need to be that's going to help you to get out of procrastination and into action in your life? So just quickly, if you're not, I didn't say very much about Daily Success Routine, but we essentially create day planners and goal setting notebooks that help people to manage their ambitions. And so I've been really inspired to connect more with our community. Plan the Week Live has been going on since December, and it's been a growing community. We also conduct seminars all over the US and internationally, connecting with women who are serious about achieving big personal, business, and career goals. So it has been an amazing experience for me to be able to be a part of that. And I'm excited to be able to be here with you tonight and to do more of that. So one of the awesome things about joining live is that you can get your questions answered live. I can unmute you if you have a question, you want to say something live. Don't hesitate to type that in the chat box or let me know. Or if you're a little more shy and don't necessarily want to ask a question live, that's okay. Feel free to type into the chat box. And one of the awesome things about being live is at the very end of today, I am going to give away one of our business badass t-shirts. So we're going to pick a random person and I'm going to send you one of our business badass t-shirts. So I'm looking forward to doing that for one lucky winner. So are you ready to get started? I want to see some yeses in the chat box if you are ready to get started with Plan the Week Live, as I mentioned. All right, I'm seeing some yeses. If you are just joining, then you can grab the handout. I'm just going to repost it here for you. Yes, okay. Ebony, Brittany, Rue, Tiffany. I see lots of folks that are ready to get started. Sabrina, awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. So today's topic is all about how to create a plan for the life that you want. And by the end of today, you're going to know the step-by-step process for being able to create that plan. We're going to workshop a little bit of it today. So always in Plan the Week Live, we're getting things done and workshopping our activities. So get that handout ready, print it out if you can. If not, just write on a blank piece of paper or on your computer as we're going along so that you can take your notes and be able to complete anything else after the session is over. But I want you to keep in mind that question that I posed, which is, what is the one thing that you're going to be able to take action on by the end of today's session? What are you going to take action on? So keep that top of mind as we go along today. So first, I just want to start out by talking about a recent experience that I had. I was in an Uber a few days ago, and I was having a conversation with the driver, and she said to me that she had aspirations. I don't even know how we got on this. I think she asked me where I was coming from, and I'm like, oh, I teach marketing at this university. So I'm a adjunct professor. It's kind of my give back. So I really love, teaching and training. Obviously, I'm in, professional development. I love teaching and training. And I had been a guest lecturer at this university for lots of sessions. And so they said, look, would you consider being an adjunct? And I was like, hey, if I get to teach marketing, awesome. So anyway, I'm taking this Uber back home, and she says to me that she had this desire to write a book. And I was like, well, why don't you just do it? And she's like, well, actually, I've already started writing the book, but I haven't finished writing the book. So then she started revealing like what the concept was about. And I'm like, you have a bestseller on your hands. I can't believe that you haven't finished this book. And so she started into the thing that we all do, which is the, what had happened was excuses about why you haven't actually followed through on the thing that you want for yourself. Can anybody resonate with? Have you ever had that what had happened was moment with yourself or someone else? Just type yes into the chat box if that's true for you, where you get into the explaining of, I don't have, I haven't been able to, and this is on my plate, and my parents are sick, and the kids are this, and my significant other needs me for that, and all the reasons why we have not been able to get the things done that we want to get done. And so I want to start off, and this is the very top of the handout for you. So yes, I see Jessica says all the time. Natalie says yes, Sabrina, Rebecca. Awesome. So you really resonate with what I'm saying. So I want to start off by, first of all, breaking out 3 myths that are holding you back from creating the life you want. And so we really need to tackle these 3 myths that are holding you back before we jump into developing today's plan, because I no longer want these things to be exactly what is preventing you from moving forward, what is keeping you in procrastination mode. No more. So let's start tackling these myths, okay? And so myth number 1 is that you do not have the time and money. And I'm lumping those together because, oh my goodness, we lump them together all the time. So myth number 1, so write that down, keep it top of mind. I do not have the time or money is a thing that we often tell ourselves as to why we're not moving forward. And so I just want to share with you an experience that I had. So back in 2010, I really wanted to write my own book. I was working on it for some time, just writing down, journaling my thoughts and notes. And it was time for me to be able to bring this book to life, birth this baby. And so I was ready to do it. So I still was struggling with, okay, when am I going to do it? I was working on it like every night. But here's what happened. There was a university, a different university actually, that I was serving as an adjunct professor for at the time. And they asked me if I would be open to doing study hours or office hours, because a lot of students needed help with tutoring. Okay, but here's the catch. The office hours the office hours were on Saturdays, like from 9 to noon. And I'm like, whoa. You want me to do office hours on a Saturday from 9 to noon? I'm a big brunch person. Anybody else a big brunch person? I'm like, I'm usually at brunch somewhere by 10 or 11 o'clock. I'm not sure I really want to be giving up my Saturdays, even though they were going to pay me to do it. But, I really just value my personal time. So you gotta say, Emily says brunch. So that was, who I was at the time. Like, okay, I'm serious about my lifestyle, right? I would need my brunch time with my girls. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it, because I had this big epiphany. They said to me, look, you're probably going to have 1 or 2 students a day. So I'm like, okay, well, 9 to noon, if I only have 1 or 2 students, I can use the rest of the time to write my book. And that's exactly what I did. So for a semester, I did office hours on Saturdays from 9 to noon. Guess how many people showed up for a semester? So semester, let's say on average is 3 months. How many people showed up for office hours? Guess. Anybody, feel free to type it into the chat box. Guess how many people you think showed up? 15. I see 5, 10, about 5. Okay, so Jessica, and I think it was it Ebony? Rue. Jessica and Rue, you are close. You are close. Let me see if who else says. Brittany says 1. Malika says 4. Sabrina said, oh, Sabrina, you're cheating. 0 to 5. Natalie says 2. Natalie is 100% right. Okay, so Natalie, I'm going to send you a Business Badass t-shirt on GP just for being right. So 2 people over the 3 months showed up for office hours. Guess what, though? I got to bang out my book. My book was 100% complete. I had an editor, everything. I had finished all the writing, published the book, and here you can see this awesome workshop that I did, or speaking event that I did in New York with this awesome group of ladies, part of Femfessionals, where they all got From Pain to Power, Lessons to Achieve Happiness and Success in the Life of an Entrepreneur. They bought my book. I bought it to life. But the thing was like, oh, I don't have the time, and oh, it's going to cost money to develop this, and, you know, when am I going to do it? But guess what? I took the opportunity to get paid to write my book. So I was there during study hours, and I was able to get the book done, and the school actually paid me to finish writing my book. And then guess what? I got paid again from the thousands of people since 2010 who have purchased their very own copies of From Pain to Power. So I want you to think about, where in your life are you making time and money in a roadblock? Yes, Rue, that is. It's a blessing. It was such a blessing. But guess what? The blessing only came because of that mindset shift. So changing my thinking to, what can I create in this time that I actually have available for somebody else to pay me? I have a friend right now who is doing security as a part-time job. They're doing security at a museum. They're sitting in that museum for hours every evening, and they're getting their PhD. So guess what they're doing while they're sitting in that museum for hours on end, securing artifacts? They're doing their work on their dissertation. So where is there already space in your life that you can create the time? Because the time's already there. Where can you better utilize the time? And matter of fact, even look for opportunities to get paid doing the thing that you have that is a part of the work that you're meant to create in the world. All right. So write that down now and think about it, because it's there for you just the same way it was there for me. And if it's not there for you right now, I want you to look at how can you create it for yourself, because it's possible. All right, so that's myth number 1. Myth number 2 is that you don't know how. I hear this so often. In fact, I even got an email today from a client who said, I know exactly what I want to achieve, but I don't know how to get there. If that is you, say yes in the chat box. Let me know that she's not alone, because I know myself, I felt that. I feel that even now sometimes with bigger projects and bigger things that I want to accomplish. You know, I want to do, I've had the opportunity and blessing to be able to do lots of TV experiences and travel the world speaking in so many different places. But as I continue to elevate that vision and say, oh, well, you know, I want to be on TV every week, like not just, 4 or 5 times a year, then I think, oh my gosh, I don't know how. But I do know how. I do know how to take the next immediate action to be able to get there. And it'll unfold as I go, and it'll unfold as you go. So Yes. Nadia says, I never know where to start. Natalie says, yes, sometimes I hear, so yes, I see yepers. Tiffany says yepers. Also, Jessica says, yes. I think I know, but when I start, I don't know how. And Natalie says, I 100% agree with Jessica. Rue says, yes. All right, so many of us have said this for ourselves, but I want you to just know that the path will unfold as you go along. And I want to just give you a couple of examples from some women who have inspired me. Okay, so this is Gabby. Gabby is known online as Gabby Fresh. So she is from Detroit. She started a lifestyle blog. She attended Mount Holyoke College. Okay, who's heard of Mount Holyoke? I haven't, never heard of it. Now, I'm not saying that to throw a diss at the, college or university. I'm saying that to say that maybe you feel like I don't have a college education, or I'm 2 credits away from completing my degree, or I didn't go to an Ivy League school, or I don't live in a poppin' city where a lot of things are going on, and you feel like that's the thing that's holding you back. And I'm telling you, hey, if you can go to Mount Holyoke and make it, then anybody can make it, okay? So she started plotting her career in political reporting. Like, that's what her university training was. But she had this passion and desire for fashion. She wanted to be a writer. So she started blogging. She created this blog called Gabby Fresh. And what she started doing was using her voice. So Gabby figured out that there were this group of women online who were talking about how you could be beautiful or be fashionable at any size. And so Gabby started expressing that for herself. She said, look, I'm a plus size woman. If you're a size 12 or above, and 12 by no means is plus size for sure, but she's like, I want women who are size 12 and above to feel like there's a voice for them and there's a style voice for them online. And so she started using her voice and has built a movement. Now Gabby has been featured in Target for their plus size range. She has developed this partnership with a company called Swimsuits for All. Look how gorgeous and beautiful she is in this stunning swimsuit. I'm like, I kind of want that swimsuit myself. She looks stunning and gorgeous. She's been on The Real and all these other shows. She didn't know how to create this life that she wanted, but guess what she did? She took the first step. She started doing the blog. But it wasn't just taking the first step and putting up the blog. She created consistent action. Small daily action creates the life you want. Write that down. That is critical. It is small daily action that creates the life you want. It is not these big momentous things that we think we need to do. It is about doing an action every single day that is going to get you closer to your goals. And that's what Gabby did. Look how fabulous of a lifestyle that she has been able to create for herself through that process. Okay, so let me share another example for you. So again, if you haven't written that down, small daily actions create the life you want. This is Carla. Carla Harris is, let me read it for you exactly. So that I don't mess it up, because she is like a for real badass. She is the vice chairman of wealth management and a senior client advisor at Morgan Stanley. Now, this brings me to what I would call myth number 3, okay? And so myth number 3 is, my job won't let me, or my job is too demanding, right? So Carla Harris is she's a vice chairman of wealth management and senior client advisor at Morgan Stanley. But Carla said, I'm going to bring my whole self to work. So not only is she a badass at her corporate job, she is a singer. Look at this woman. She's like belting out some song. I wish I had an audio clip of it to share with you, but definitely make sure you Google Carla Harris. She is a best-time selling author. She has written 2 books, Expect to Win and Strategize to Win. Is anyone here familiar with Carla Harris? Type yes into the chat box if you're familiar with Carla Harris. This woman travels the world speaking all over to different companies, organizations, women's conferences. She is absolutely killing it. So I asked Carla, I was like, Carla, how do you make this happen? And she said that that her clients really like that she has something different to talk about, and that her talent actually helps her to stand out in her industry. And so while you might be thinking that, oh, well, my job's too demanding. There's not enough time. I'm full with what I'm doing. There's no way that I can actually create this other life that I want or go for my other goals and dreams. Carla is living proof that if she can do it, then you absolutely, positively can do it too. She has written these awesome books. She is singing. She has several CDs. She's won Grammys. Like, what? Who would think like a wealth manager is like winning Grammys? So this is also possible for you. Your job is no longer an excuse because you can figure out how can you be an ambassador for the brand that you're working for. Guess what? She's more indispensable for her company because who else at the company is doing that? Who else can walk into a meeting and create this engaging conversation with a client because she is a singer and because she is a best-time selling author? And now she can have their clients inviting her to come and be a speaker at their companies. How much business do you think that's bringing in for Morgan Stanley? A lot of business, okay? So stop telling yourself these falsehoods that the job is in the way because you absolutely can do it. If you believe that it's possible for you, then I want you to just type, yes, it's possible in the chat box right now. Tell me that you can see, if these women can do it more like, they're not, born from a special flock, right? So we can all do it. Okay, Brittany says yes. Ruth says yes. Ebony, yes. Tiffany says, yeah, yes. Yes, it's possible. Natalie, who else is there? Oh, I said Tiffany already. Sharika, am I saying that right? Sharika, Sabrina, yes, it's possible. Okay, awesome. So you know that it is absolutely possible for you and not just for them. Now, what if you are the person who feels a little bit torn between your corporate life and these other things that you want to create for yourself? Maybe you love your job, you're passionate about your job, but you want to keep your job and be able to start a business or do something else or travel the world or work from anywhere. Or maybe it's that you feel like, hey, I'm ready to make that career transition. I love my job and I want to get to the point now that I'm beginning to build a business that will allow me to make a transition into my next career, my second career, or my third career. Well, then I want you to meet Tiffany Dufu. So Tiffany is the author of a book. Notice how all these women have books. Something's happening here. So Tiffany is the author of the book called Drop the Ball. Now, I'm not saying you should write a book if that's not your passion or desire, okay? So not everybody is meant to have a book, but if it's in you, then tonight's example should certainly be an inspiration. So Tiffany Dufu, up until recently, has been the Chief Leadership Officer at Levo League, okay, which is a career development company for millennial women. And she has decided to take the path of what's called a portfolio career. So I just want you to write that down, portfolio career. And if you're not familiar, then definitely make sure you Google it after today's show, portfolio career. So Tiffany says, look, I want to create a portfolio career. She said, I figured out what my personal mission is. And my personal mission is to advance the lives of women and girls. All right, so that's number one. If you're thinking about portfolio career, you got to get clear on what your mission is, right? So then she said, in terms of my lifestyle design, in terms of creating a plan, creating that plan for the life that she wants, she says, I'm going to design my life around this mission that I want to create, improving the lives of women and girls. So she wrote a book, Drop the Ball, which teaches women how to drop the ball, how to achieve more by doing less. She's also built a speaking practice where she goes around and talks to companies, women leaders within those companies, and inspiring them with her message. She also does a lot of mentoring for young girls, and she sits on the board of a girls' school that's based in Seattle. So here she is saying that, look, I'm going to line up everything that I want to create in my life, my lifestyle design, creating the plan for the life you want, to align with my mission for advancing the lives of women and girls. And so that might be the way that you do it. You might say, hey, what is my mission? And then how can I begin to align that to my own lifestyle design? Does that sound inspiring for anybody who thinks a portfolio career might be ideal for you? Just let me know in the chat box. Sabrina says, I thought her book said Dr. P the ball. Yes, so it's like yes, the O is missing on drop the ball. Yeah, that's funny. So she dropped it. It's at the bottoms of the book. That's where it is. That's the O at the bottom of the book. That's so funny. Brittany says, yes, I saw her promoting the book the other day. And Tiffany actually says, yes, me, this girl. Michelle says, yes, that's what I was planning, but I never knew there was a term for it. Oh man, Michelle, I completely resonate with that. All my life, I feel like I've had this portfolio career as well in terms of the boards that I've been sitting on, being a business owner, curating communities for women entrepreneurs, but I didn't know what the name for it was too. And then last year, I started doing all this research and found out about portfolio careers, and then started developing a relationship with Tiffany, and she told her story, and I was like, here's somebody who's implementing it. And so it's amazing that, yes, this is possible for us, and there is a term for it. And that just goes to show that we can trailblaze our own paths. We could create our own terms. Okay, so Nadia says, can you explain it a little better? What makes it a portfolio? Okay, awesome. So what makes it a portfolio is that instead of saying, hey, I'm going to, let's say you're in IT right now. Let's say your career or your industry is in IT or healthcare. Instead of saying, look, I'm going to be in IT or healthcare for the rest of my life, and I'm going to retire after 30 years, and then I'll start doing the other things that I feel are my purpose in life. I'm going to actually create this portfolio career where instead of it just being focused on an industry, I'm focused on a mission. And so maybe your mission is healthcare. Maybe your mission is improving women's health or improving the health of children. And so you say, all right, I'm going to have a corporate position where I'm working within a company that is improving the lives of children. But then I also have this passion for improving the lives of children. So I'm going to take that to church and have a ministry at church where I'm working with the lives of children. Or maybe it's that you're sitting on a nonprofit board and you're working with the lives of children. Or maybe it's that you're writing a book that teaches parents how to raise awesome kids, awesome productive kids who become really good citizens in society. So you're aligning, you're creating this portfolio of work that you're doing that is all aligned to a specific mission. So hopefully that makes it clear for you, Nadia. So Shauna says, yes, this is perfect for me. Leslie, yes, I definitely want a portfolio career. I want to align my lifestyle with my life's mission. Yes, Leslie, I love that. Michelle says, this is inspirational. I have to look her up. Yes, please look her up and definitely look up more about portfolio careers. In fact, maybe we should do a little bit more on portfolio careers on a future Plan the Week Live. I think that would be awesome. If that resonates with you and sounds of interest, then say yes. Say yes, do a Plan the Week Live on portfolio career so I know to get that on the schedule. What else? Tyra says, I love the sharing of the books and success of others. Thank you. Brittany says, love. Bruce says, yes, that would be great. Okay, awesome. So we're going to get that on the schedule for a future Plan the Week Live. So you can see how if you feel like, oh, I can only do one thing and there's all these other passions that I have and I'll never get around to them until later in life. No, you can create this portfolio career. But let me say one thing that's critical. it's not about doing a bunch of disjointed things. It's really about making sure that you are aligning what you're doing to a mission. And let me tell you the power in this. There are going to be, and there already are, I know it because you're here. So I know the kind of person that you are. There's already opportunities that are showing up for you, and you're probably taking on more opportunities than you should be. But when you get clear about your mission, especially if you're taking this path of portfolio career as a part of your lifestyle design, then you can say, oh, well, going back to the example of healthcare, well, I want to create healthier kids. I want to be that healthcare champion for children. If someone says, hey, can you come, sit on the nonprofit board of this organization that deals with domestic abuse? And you're like, oh, well, that's a really important cause, and there's a lot that I can contribute. Of course, there's a lot that you can contribute, but does that align with your mission? No. So you can feel free to say no and gracefully bow out and start turning away from opportunities that are not aligned with your mission so that you can receive more of the juicy goodness that is meant to align with your intention and the work that you're supposed to do in the world. Awesome. So Tara said, mission is the missing element. Often we seek to do a thing, a defined job, portfolio career aligned to the mission makes so much sense. Yes, this is a new way of thinking and being able to create that plan for the life that you want. So I'm so excited that this is resonating with so many people. So two things that I'm hearing. One is maybe we should also do a session on creating your own personal mission. Or maybe we tie that into the portfolio career session. Okay, so we're definitely going to do something. So stay tuned for a future Plan the Week live on that. All right, so now the 3 myths that might have been holding you back. So number 1 is time and money. Time and money is no longer an excuse. We know why, because we can have people to pay us to do the work that we want. And in fact, another thing that Tiffany said to me, and I thought that this was brilliant in the last conversation that we had, she said, I knew that I couldn't write a book for free. And so I developed a book proposal so that I could get paid to write my book, right? So she sold her book in order to get paid to write the book. So it's a mindset shift that we have to make. How do I get paid to create the work that I know I'm meant to create in the world? All right. So number 1, time and money is no longer excuse, because we can see how we can create the time and how people can pay us to do the work that we're meant to do. Myth number 2 is I don't know how. Hey, you know how to take the immediate next action. Small daily actions create the life you want. You only have to know how to take the immediate next action. And trust me, I promise you, as you take that next action, things will start to unfold for you. It just naturally happens. It's like you have to believe that, the universe is aligned to help you to be successful in what you want to do. And trust me, as you begin to take action, things will unfold. I wanted to make more of a difference for our clients and other people. And so I created Plan the Week Live. Did I know how people were going to show up or find out about it? Nope, I didn't know. But I took the next action and it just kept unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And here we are together this evening. Okay, and so myth number 3 is my job won't let me. It's too demanding. That work is in the way. No, it's not, because we have seen how women have been able to build brands in the context of their career so that they can still have the life that they want. And so that can also be you too. All right, so let's jump in a little more detail in terms of creating. Now you know what life can look like. Let's jump into creating more of the plan for your life. Let's first go to a couple of comments. So Sabrina says, yes, I love the idea of saying no and filtering out what you don't need to be doing. I have a habit of jumping out at opportunities that I am not exactly clear about. I love that transparency, Sabrina. Yes, that is so true for so many of us. And now you have a framework for being able to filter out the things that are not meant for you to be doing right now, and be able to leverage that so that you no longer are taking on things that you shouldn't. And Jessica says, I completely agree with Tara. I'm always focused on working a job to pay the bills. But yes, how about working, not just being able to pay the bills, right, but being able to create opportunities for you to also get paid. I love that, Jessica. Thanks for sharing that. All right, so let's jump a little bit more into you developing your own plan. Now, the important thing to remember is there's no rules except for the old ones. So where I left my conversation with the Uber driver is I said to her, look, there's no rules except for the old ones. And we live in a society today where people are creating their own rules. We've seen these examples of lifestyle design and how people are saying, look, I'm going to have a portfolio career. I'm going to be a voice and talk about women being beautiful at every size. And now, hey, I'm having this plus size fashion line and I'm on The Real and I'm a expert for Target and being able to be a spokesperson for other people, right? So there's no rules except for the old ones. And so you have to decide, are you going to be the person who's following the old rules of, oh, go to school, get a good job, stay there for 30 years, retire, get a watch, and hope that you have enough to finally do the thing that you want to do? No, that does not have to be you. So make a decision that those rules are old and that we get to create new rules for ourselves. All right, so let's jump into the step-by-step guide of creating your plan. So I always tell people, do not take the leap, build a bridge. And in all of these examples that I've talked about tonight, you have seen how they didn't leap into something, they built a bridge. They took small daily actions to create the life that they wanted. And that bridge across allowed them to get to their desired destination. And that's what we're going to do for you right now. All right, so on your handout, make sure you grab it, you have it. It is up in the chat box. In fact, let me just see if I can post that again really quick if you are just joining. So the first thing that I want you to write down is we're thinking about the life that you want more of. I want you to write down 3 things that you want to have. What are 3 things that you want to have? And it's okay if these things, some of them are a little bit materialistic. You know, maybe there's a certain car that you want to have, or a house that you want to have, or maybe there's something else that you want to have. So write down 3 things that you want to have, and definitely share them in the chat. Let's see, what are the 3 things, or even share one of the 3 things that you want to have. I'm excited to see what you come up with. So 3 things that you want to have. So let's say for myself right now, I've actually been researching some vehicles. So I said to myself, all right, in 2017, I'm going to get another car. And I've been spoiled for a while, not having a car note. So I definitely want to do it in a responsible way. I don't believe in, going into crazy debt to create the things that we want in life, but that's something on my have list, right? So I want to have a newer car. So let's see, what are some things that you want to have? Feel free to type them in to the chat box. What are some things that you want to have? Okay, Tara says over 100K. Love it, Tara. Let's get specific about the money. That's cool too, right? So that 100K allows Tara to be able to create some different levels of security or opportunities in her life, things that she might want to be able to do for her family or even herself, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. So what are some of the other things that you want to create in your life? Feel free to type them in to the chat box. What's something that you want to create in your life? All right, I see. Nadia says, okay, so think in terms of have. What do you want to have? All right, so I see some are already jumping into the be and do. So, okay, good. So write down also 3 things you want to be and 3 things you want to do. All right, so we're going to cover a bunch of them. So Nadia says, more time to pursue my own health and fitness goals. Okay, so that's something that she wants to do, pursue her health and fitness goals. Natalie says success, money, and a house. Okay, I love that, Natalie. I would just say, what is success, right? So I would break that down even a little bit more. So something that she wants to have, though, is definitely money. Maybe that's a part of her success. Let's think about what that number is. She also wants to have a house. I love that. Jessica says, I want freedom from having a boss. I want to be my own boss. Okay, so something that she wants to be is her own boss. I love that. That gave me a chill. Jessica, I just said Jessica. Tiffany says, I want to retire early by the end of 2019. I love it. Put a date on it, Tiffany. Okay, so that is something that she wants to do. All right, so are we getting the formula here? So I want you to write down things you want to have, things you want to be, and things that you want to do. Jessica says, have enough money to pay bills and have her extra money become bill free. Okay, so that's something that she wants to have and also something that she wants to do. I love that. Tara says, get remarried. Get that hubby, Tara. All right, I feel you on that, Tara. I'm working on my hubby plan too. And she wants to use her talents for profit, such as writing, a basketball, education of children. I love that. So she's talking about what she wants to do, utilizing her talents and she wants to do more writing. All right. And I love that. So let's see. Shakira says that she wants to have her master's. I love that. So that's something that she wants to do. She also wants to have a healthy lifestyle and mindset. So that's something that she wants to be. Jessica says travel. Leslie says more streams of income, making my business work together, make sense with one another, getting a larger child care center. Love it. Tiffany says, I like to pursue the real estate field, buying rehab and flipping houses. Love that, Tiffany. That is on my 2018, 2019 goal list as well. So resonating with you there. Leslie says, I want to be healthier, weight loss, too, tougher in business. Love that. And more sassy. Okay, give them 2 snaps for the sass. Leslie, love that. Natalie says, I want to be an entrepreneur. Ruth says, I want to be working more on my dreams rather than someone else's. Woo, yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. I want to do more home, move to the home that I visited in Old Toronto, Canada back in 2015. I love that. So vision, you've already seen it. Sabrina says, I want the bravery to do what I know I need to do in the face of fear. Oh, girl, that is like a tweetable, an Instagrammable, and a Facebookable. Bravery to do what I need to do in the face of fear. Love that, Sabrina. Use the power to focus on being productive. Allow myself to let go and have peace of mind. Yes, Ruth, fear is real. It is real that it shows up for us, and we have to be able to figure out how do we manage that. In fact, I have gotten to a place where I look at fear as a guide. It is telling me one of two things. It's either telling me what I need to do next because I'm afraid, I'm a little bit scared of it. That's telling me the direction I need to go, or it's telling me where I need to prepare myself, right? So fear is often sometimes showing up to be that warner and say, there's a couple things you need to get in order before you go down this path. And so I love being able to lean into fear, knowing that it is generally telling me one of those two things. And so I welcome it. I welcome it. Guide me, fear. Tell me where I can increase my game. Guide me, fear. Tell me where I need to be more on point so that I'm ready for the next level in my life and so that you can be ready for the next level in your life. Love it. Shauna says, debt-free, well-known realtor with 200% growth, debt educator. Love it. Awesome. Sabrina says, I like that. Fear as a guide or as a warning. Awesome. So now, what is the next step in your plan? The next step in your plan, and feel free to keep typing, is to get clear on your current monthly expenses. So what What commitments should you keep and what commitments should you let go of? And there might be something that you are signed up for. Maybe you signed up for some program where you can do classes at this fitness studio, but you tend to not go to the fitness studio as much as you would like, or you also pay for a gym membership. And so maybe you're saying, look, I'm signed up for both of these things. I'm realistically only going to do one of them. I'm going to clear some space in my life, because guess what? We got to make space for the things that we want to create. You have to clear out the old to make space for the new. And so it might be that you're saying, look, I know that I can actually do classes at my gym. I just need to block it on my calendar and get serious about it. So I don't need to also be a part of this studio that I'm never going to and having the gym membership. I just need to really maximize my gym membership. Or maybe there's something else in your life that you are currently investing in that you're not utilizing. Or maybe there's some things that you need to be invested in. Are you that person that's always stressed out? Okay, maybe you need to be more on self-care and get on the monthly massage membership. Maybe that's going to improve your lifestyle design. Or maybe you're feeling like you don't have enough self-care, and the last time you had a mani-pedi for yourself was in the summertime. Well, maybe that mani-pedi needs to be a part of your bi-weekly or your once-a-month routine, and that's something that's going to sew into you and make you feel better about yourself. Okay, so next step in your plan is to get clear on your current monthly expenses, but not just in terms of what you have commitments on, but where do you need to create commitments, right? What are some things that you want to bring in? All right, now, so I want you to just think about what is something that you need to get rid of. If you've identified that, because I think that's going to be the biggest breakthrough that some of you may have today, that you might have today, is thinking about what do I need to let go of? So just feel free to type that into the chat. What is it that you need to let go of in your current monthly expenses to create space for your lifestyle design, for the plan, for the life that you want? What's something that you need to let go of? Oh, Tara says, I've stopped, committed to my frivolous spending, $25 to eating out, getting something to drink, etc., etc. Ooh, that is a good one, Tara. So many folks spend money, and I've definitely been guilty of it. I always say, like, what I splurge on seriously is probably food the most, right? So I am a foodie through and through, and so it can happen easily and I am very big on clean eating, and so sometimes I'll go to this place called Snap Kitchen, where you get this little pre-packaged container meal that might be $10, $11, $12. Well, eating clean is really important to me, but if you're doing that along with getting your Starbucks and getting some ice cream here or there, or this and that, some snacks, etc., like those things can add up. And so we just need to be more intentional, right? So I'm not saying do away with eating clean, because that's important. Your health is number one, but it's about being more strategic about how you take on these things so that you're not throwing away money, or not throwing it away, but like you're not utilizing it for the things you're saying, oh, I don't have the money to do the stuff I want to do, but yet and still you're, just spending money willy-nilly here and there. And so you're not having the money for what you want. Okay, so Kim says eating out less is true for her. Jessica says, I need to let go of the gym because I never go and I can exercise at home. I appreciate that realness, Jessica. Yes, we know, like, hey, I don't need to make the gym the thing. I can work out. I can pick up some weights. I got weights at home. We can work out at home. We can put on a YouTube video these days and work out. Leslie says, cutting out the Uber Eats every day. Sabrina says, I need to let go of eating outside the home, spending money on products that I don't use often. I love that. Jessica says, eating out since my boys left home. That's right. So that might be something that you change because you're not necessarily needing to cook for the boys. You might be doing a lot more eating out. Kim says, and impulsive shopping. I love that. My rule, Kim, is that I'm a 2-day shopper. So I go one day, I seek out what I'm looking for. I pick out my top finds, and then I go home. And then what I wake up with on my mind tells me like, okay, that's something that I should really have. And those are the things that I go back for. So I just automatically make it a 2-day process now so that I'm not doing any of that impulsive buying. So maybe that tip might help you, Kim. Kara says, I've also started the new year with only buying groceries I need for the week. Amen, Tara. I do the same thing. I cook two entrees and about 3 sides weekly, and I take my lunch to work and have dinner ready. I started this year with the commitment to save $1K a month. I love that. So intentional, so clear. All right, so you can see how deciding what you're going to let go is going to create more space in your life. Okay, so now step 3 in the process is decide on your target monthly income. Now, the big shift here is to move from annual thinking to monthly cash flow thinking. And here's what I mean. For so long, we've been taught about salaries, right? So we think about how much I want to earn in a year. Oh, I want to earn 45,000, 50,000, 60, 100, 120, 200, whatever that number is for you. But move away from thinking about money on an annual basis, because in reality, you might be making X dollars a year, but that's not what you're actually getting on a monthly basis, right? You got taxes that come out and Social Security and healthcare and all these other things. It's not what you're actually getting. But if you move to the shift of monthly thinking, here's what happens. You start thinking about, in order to create the life I want, how much money do I need on a monthly basis? And and trust me, it is a lot less than what you think. So then it becomes so possible to be able to create this in your life, because you might say, look, all right, I want to, well, let's go back to some of the ideas you had. So I want to, oh, I love this. Shauna says she's gotten down to a daily number, 620, I love it. Okay, so Shauna's already thinking ahead about what she needs to earn, right, on that monthly, daily basis, right? So let me actually workshop this a little bit for you. So I'm going to change up here and show you exactly how to do this. So you will find in your handout there is a link that is called the Dreamlining Worksheet. And this Dreamlining Worksheet actually comes from Tim Ferriss, who wrote the book 4-Hour Workweek. And he talks about this process called dreamlining. And what we're getting into right now is this process for dreamlining. So dreamlining essentially helps you to map out specifically what you want to create. All right, so here is the Dreamlining Worksheet. So I'm going to show you exactly what I worked on for our Plan the Week Live today. So some of the goals that I came up with in terms of my doing is I decided a year ago that I wanted to start taking my winters in South Africa. And I did that for the first time last year. And it cost me about $2,000 to take my winter in South Africa. Now that was the flight plus what I spent during the time that I was there. So you'll see here in the Dreamlining Worksheet at the top, it says winter in South Africa. So the cost for that, I have budgeted $3,500 so that I can, maybe this time I was staying with a girlfriend of mine, and so I was able to drive her car. But if I wanted to rent a car while I was there, or let's say we also traveled, so we stayed in Johannesburg, but we also traveled to Durban. My next trip, I also want to go to Mauritius and some other places, so I'm budgeting for a little bit more. So this is a one-time cost. So you're going to write down whether it's a one-time cost or a monthly cost. All right, so Then moving down to oh wait, I jumped ahead. So that was my doing. So on the having, so I mentioned on my having is a new car for 2017. So let's say the cost of the new car plus insurance, gas, etc., new expenses, right, for new vehicle might be about $500, and that's a monthly expense. All right, so now moving down to the being, something on the being sheet, being a best-selling author. So writing a book proposal doesn't cost me anything to do that, all right? So that's actually free. And I'm telling you that a lot of the things that you want to be won't cost you anything except for getting in the action of doing them. Okay, and then finally, my doing was wintering in South Africa, which I talked about already, one-time cost at $3,500. All right, so that brings, at the bottom, it calculates it for you. So make sure you grab this worksheet. It says, for target monthly income, $1,083. Now, of course, this doesn't include any of my current monthly expenses. That's why you want to know both your current monthly expenses plus what your expenses would be for your lifestyle. So then that breaks down into daily income. So what do I need to make on a daily basis in order to create that lifestyle? $36. Can we make $36 on a daily basis? Yes, we can make $36 on a daily basis. So, so the spreadsheet you can access in the handout. There is a link to the Dreamlining worksheet in your handout, so you can access it. Now, it goes to show you that it is a lot less than you think. So I want to invite everybody to go ahead. Leslie says, oh my God, yes, I want to go to South Africa. You should definitely do it. It was a life-altering experience. I had the opportunity to live in Johannesburg for 2 years, and I loved it. And I'm going to continue to take winter in South Africa. So I'm a little later this year than I was last year because I went in March. Oh, well, it's not March yet. I'm planning to go back in March or April. So still working on it. So Kim, the handout, awesome, is right here for you. You can grab the handout, which will also give you the link to the Dreamlining worksheet. All right, so has this been helpful for you? Just let me know. Type yes into the chat box if it has been helpful for you and that you are thinking about now, or you feel more inspired about how you can create the life that you want, and that you have some ideas for being able to create the life that you want. You know how to develop your plan of action. We went over the steps in order to do that. And so now I just want to wrap up with saying that you got to stick to the plan. And the way to stick to the plan is by taking small daily action. So would it be helpful if I show you how I stick to the plan of my lifestyle design? Does anyone want to stick around for a few minutes and I can show you exactly how I do this myself? Okay, Rue says, sure. Nadia says, yes, please. VW says, yes. Okay, awesome. This will just take a minute. So I'm going to show you exactly what I do. Sabrina, I love it. She says, I just experienced some serious mindset shifts with this workout. Thank you. That's awesome. I love that. All right. So here is inside example of my daily success routine planner. So I use this every day. And I'm happy to, you know what I'll do? I'll post a worksheet for you so everyone can test this out for yourself, okay? So this is my planner here. So what you're looking at, just so you know what I'm talking about, is an inside page. Invalid whenever I click to download the docs. Okay, so what you want to do is, oh, Ruth says, I love planner. Me too, but here's what I've learned. You can have a really beautiful planner, but we have to do what we did today, which is number one, create the mindset shifts, and number two, be able to have a system in place that is going to help you to follow through. And I'm telling you that in my years of using a lot of beautiful planners, that Daily Success Routine is the only one that actually helps you be able to make the behavior change that is necessary to create the life you want. And so whether or not you utilize Daily Success Routine, I want you to know that it's important that you start creating the behavior change that is necessary for you to be able to create the life that you want. Yes, yes, yes. Ruth says, yes, I need action. Awesome. So here is the top of the planner. So it starts out with showing you how to put in your routines. Okay, so here's how I follow through on creating my lifestyle design plan. So number one, I put in my routines. So this is part of my morning routine. So I read my goals every day. I listen to an inspirational video and I exercise, whether that's going to the gym or whether that is doing something, some movement in my house. That is my morning routine, and that's going to happen every day. I write it down because I want to make sure I follow through. Now, mantra, I also have an affirmation that I'm doing every day. So again, this is the top half of page in my planner where it says, every day you're getting closer to your goals, small actions. So I'm reminding myself constantly that I have to continue to take those small actions. Now, I have a soul goal for every day because remember I talked about you have to be aligned with self-care and doing something for yourself, because guess what? If you are constantly giving to other people in your life, and you start feeling grumpy about that, disgruntled about it, feeling like these people are sucking the living blood out of me. All I'm doing is giving, giving, giving. And all I feel like is people keep taking, there's nothing left for you. Then you need to have more of a self-care routine. So soul goal is something that you do for yourself every day, and it doesn't need to take more than 15 minutes. So for me, that's typically reading an audiobook, or it might be having a glass of wine while I'm reading the book that's been collecting dust on my nightstand, or it might be a bubble bath, or polishing my nails, or styling my hair. You know, I have had, natural hair for, I don't know, like 17 years, something ridiculous, but I don't wear my natural curls out as much as I would like to. So I want to practice more of that, right? So that might be part of my self-care, watching some YouTube videos and getting some inspiration, how to do some sets and stuff, right? So what is that thing for you? Then the money milestones, going back to what we talked about in our dream line, is that it is so easy for you to think about that monthly revenue. What do I need to create on a monthly basis in terms of income? Because look at it, there's all these additional things you can do today to earn extra income. You can be an Airbnb host. You can start a business or a side hustle. You can be an Uber driver, right? And so going back to, I showed you my example, Dreamline, $34 a day. Could I create $34 a day? Yes, I can create 34 hours a day for $34 a day in my business. Or if I needed to do something else, I could create that $34 a day. So now your money milestone reminds you, keeps that number front and center for you every day and what you need to create. And then this is one of my favorites of my daily sheet, which is hour of power. Hour of power is what are you going to do for your first hour of your workday? And for me, that is work on my book proposal, because I got to get that proposal done if I want to get to my goal of being that best-selling author. Okay, so that is something that is on my hour of power. Okay, so let me go to the second half of the page. On the second half of the page, I write down what my 3 focuses are for the day, and I put a specific time next to them. So how long will it take me? So sending out my newsletter. So sending out our company newsletter is something that's going to help us in terms of being in top of mind with our clients in our community, right? So putting that together, drafting it up, that's not going to take me more than 2 hours, all right? Completing a client proposal. So let's say that you're working in a corporate world and you do proposals. That might be something that you need to do. So you can see how, in terms of your focus here, you can put something that is personal, something that you're doing for your business or for you to earn additional income, something that you're doing for work, and something that you're doing for your own lifestyle. Like here, for the third one, I have developing the meals for the week. So many people said that, yes, I need to do meal planning or to stop eating out so much, right? So setting up your meal plans is going to be a critical part of doing that. All right, now you want to supercharge all of this. That's where the 3x3 comes in. That is 3 contacts by 3 o'clock. So an example in the case of my goal might be I'm reaching out to recommended literary agents every day to be able to get that literary agent that's going to help me to get that book deal. Or maybe one of my outreach, the things that I'm doing is I'm looking for flights for my trip to South Africa and making sure that I'm aware of what the cost of that is. And then finally is prep. So prep is about doing the research on sections of my book. So prep is about, what's the work that you need to do today to prepare for tomorrow? Or what's the work that you need to do on a Sunday to prepare for the rest of the week, right? So you want to think about, how am I preparing? And I'm telling you, this is the number one thing that keeps people in overwhelm, because they have not put in adequate prep time into their day to execute against the commitments, the things that they said they were going to do. If you have ever had the experience of showing up to, let's say, some volunteer organization that you're a part of, or church, or nonprofit board that you sit on, you're like, oh, I said I was going to do this thing for the committee, and it's the night before the meeting, and you're like, oh crap, I never did the thing I said I was going to do. Or that might happen at work, where you left a work meeting and you made a note or a tickler file of, oh, here's what I'm going to do for the next meeting, and you never actually went back to it. Okay, so that's why you need to have prep. So this is a way so you can utilize this system to be able, oh, Jessica says, where can we get a planner like you have? Okay, so there are, since you asked, Jessica, his shameless plug here, you can grab a planner at dailysuccessroutine.com. If you like this format that I'm showing you here, then I'll actually show you. If you go to our website, you can be able to grab one of our daily success routine planners there. And this is a system that you can utilize whether or not you have a daily success planner. So I want to invite you to really just go ahead and get started utilizing this. So hopefully you can see the site right now. Just let me know if you can. So hopefully you can utilize this system for yourself, no matter where you are in the process. So if you want to check it out, just go to our products page and you'll be able to find your daily success routine planner right there. All right. So was this helpful for you? Let me know. Type yes into the chat box if today's session has been helpful. And I want to make sure that you know the exact next action that you're going to take. Okay, so that's where we are going to close out. So I want to hear, what is the next action in terms of your plan, in terms of your lifestyle design? What do you need to do next? So Jessica says, yes, this was helpful. VW says, yes. Rue, yes, thank you. Brittany says, yes. Nadia says she feels inspired. Awesome. Natalie said this was great. Timmy says, thank you. Sabrina says, extremely healthy, helpful. Thank you so much. All right, so I want to hear, what are you going to do? Nadia says, I'm going to plan my budget. Awesome. Shakira says, I would like to invite friends to the next session. Yes, please do. I want to invite you back. So Plan the Week Live. We are live every Sunday at 7 o'clock. You can, you'll get a personal invitation from me if you were here today. I'll make sure to invite you for next week. And you can always find the next upcoming session. So tomorrow, the next session for next Sunday will be posted at dailysuccessroutine.com. So you can go there and register. But I will definitely send you a personal invitation as well. So please invite your friends. Don't be selfish. It's better when we plan together. Kim says, yes, I'm ready to get moving. All right, Kim, I want to hear, what are you going to get moving on? What's your next action? Okay, so Leslie says, I'm not sure what I need to do next because I think I have so much to do. All right, so I love that you said that. So your next action might be, if you have not completed your handout, it might be finishing going through the process, right? So what are the 3 things you want to have? What are the 3 things you want to do? What are the 3 things you want to be? If you've completed that, then it might be putting the numbers to it. So grab that Dreamline worksheet and be able to fill it out using that template so that the numbers are automatically calculating for you, and get clear on what is the number that you need on a monthly basis to be able to create the life that you want. And then to break that down to a daily basis, so divided by 30. What is the number that you need to earn on a daily basis in order to create that life you want? So that's two different things, right? That might be your next action. Or your next action might be dealing with some of the myths that we talked about, things that you need to eliminate in your life so that you can create space for the life that you want. Or if you've done all of that, then it might be picking your next action. So I saw some beautiful things that you wanted to create. So what is the next action that you need to take on that thing? I see Brittany said to create the budget plan and get my husband on board. May consider bringing in a professional. Beautiful next action. I love that. Get the hubby on board so you can move forward together. Jessica says, my next step for tomorrow is I'm going to look at my bills and see what I can cut. Amen, Jessica. That's a great one. So many ideas here. So definitely steal some of these ideas if you're not sure what to do next. Sabrina says, I need to plan my weeks before I get in them. Yes. And so I want to, again, like shameless plug for Daily Success Routine, we have a page in our planner called Mission Control. Mission Control, I do mine every Sunday. It's where I plan my week ahead. So I look at my successes and lessons learned for the week, things that I'm grateful for, and then I plan my top 3 actions for the week ahead. And I also add those money milestones. So what is my goal for this week in terms of my lifestyle design? So mission control is critical. So I want you to create a mission control for yourself. How can I, or utilize Daily Success Routine to be able to say, how can I set up my week every Sunday so that I am winning? What is the prep that I need to do for the meetings that I have coming up? What meetings do I need to confirm? What meetings do I need to cancel? What things do I need to say no to this week or reschedule because they are not aligned with my dream life? Okay, so that was awesome, Sabrina. Kim says, my plan is to get starting with setting a budget. I love it. Natalie, I'm going to stop saying I don't have the money and get my, and just go ahead. And in fact, Natalie, I would say get started with getting your first client. And guess what? You don't need your business cards to get your first client. Your first client is waiting for you. Let's get your first client, Natalie. BW says, I'm going to get my ideas and vision in writing. Awesome. Shauna, I'm working on my hour of power from this week on. I love it. So that could be a next action. Decide what will be your hour of power for tomorrow for someone else. Carla says, I'm going to drop the ball on purpose so I can create space for more productive actions. Love it. Natalie says, she's giving some resources. Sabrina's giving resources for Natalie. Awesome. Love that you're sharing here in the chat. That is one of the benefits of being here live. Sabrina says, just design the cards yourself. How about no cards? Just go get the client. Let's just get the client. I always say, let's not play business. Let's do business. Get that client. Let's forget about the cards. Let's get the checks. All right. So that brings us to the end of today's Plan the Week's live session. I hope that it's been so helpful for you. I'm going to be back here next Sunday at 7 o'clock, and make sure that you take action. As always, if you have any questions that show up, you can email me at hello@dailysuccessroutine.com. That's hello@dailysuccessroutine.com. Send me your questions and I will send you a video reply answer that will help you. And did I not mention that we even have a Facebook group for Daily Success Insiders? So let me get that up for you, actually. Maybe I can quickly grab that link for you so that you can join the Daily Success Insiders, because I want to know exactly how you are in taking action, and I want to hold you accountable to taking action. So I want to invite you to go join our group right now and type in exactly how your actions for this week. So type in your actions for this week and what you took action on before next week's Plan the Week live session. Let me know how you were able to do. How you were able to do that. Sounded funny. How you did. There we go. That is grammatically correct. Let me know how you did, and be so that I can hold you accountable. And also, it's inspiring for other people to be able to know that you took action. Okay, so I shared the page. Okay, so there's a couple of questions. Let me make sure I can get those questions answered for you. So people are asking, what's that site again? Where's your site? So here it is. I'm posting it in the chat box right now. So in the chat box, here is the website. Here we go, chat. Where's the chat box? It keeps disappearing on me. Okay, I'm gonna put in the chat box in just a second exactly the website so that you can, here we go. There we go. So there is the website. Someone was asking about the site. Let's see what other questions you may have. Okay, what is your homepage? All right, so homepage is there. There's the Facebook. All right, Rue said she joined the Facebook group. BW said she sent her request. Awesome. As soon as we wrap today's show, I will go in. Natalie says she sent the request. So go in. I'm going to admit you into the group right away. Go in, post right away your action for this week, what you're going to take action on, and I'm going to check in with you and see how you're doing before next week's Plan the Week live session. So again, thank you so much for joining. I hope you found this session helpful. Any questions, again, feel free to email. Oh, wait a minute. Natalie, send me an email to hello@dailysuccessroutine.com so that I can get you your Business Badass t-shirt. And I did promise to give away another Business Badass t-shirt. So I am going to do a random selection here. I'm just going to scroll through and pick anyone here. Okay, I'm going to blind pick. So 1, 2, 3. And I landed on Tiffany X6. So Tiffany, send me an email to hello@dailysuccessroutine, and Natalie, hello@dailysuccessroutine.com with your size and your address so that we can get you out your Business Badass t-shirts tomorrow. So again, thank you so much for joining Plan the Week Live. I hope this session has been helpful. Invite a friend. I want to see you back here next Sunday at 7 o'clock for more Plan the Week Live. So remember, small daily actions create the life you want. Have an awesome week ahead, and I look forward to talking to you next week.